Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Switch It Up Show. My name is Glenn and I will be your host as we explore the wonderful world of the Nintendo Switch, and in this episode, some accessories to go along with it. But my favorite accessory, my partner in crime, is Mr. Seth Trav.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, my man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm ready for lots of game style things to be discussed today.
Oh my god, all the game style things will be discussed, but before we get there, we have to let these sweet beats ride. Anamanaguchi, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome music featured here on every episode of the Switch It Up Show. Make sure you go through into the show notes and check out some of those links so you can listen to those wonderful tunes. Now, up first, it's something a little bit different here on the Switch It Up Show. Typically, we get for review all types of different Nintendo Switch and sometimes other consoles as well, different indie games to review, to talk about here, to play, to stream on our YouTube, youtube.com/Parish Network. And we're super fortunate to be able to do all of that and talk about all those things, but we actually got one of our first physical items to talk about for review here on the show for the Switch, and it's from the awesome people over at Fixture Gaming. You can check them out over at fixturegaming.com, and they kind of sent us two different things. Two different products. They're both, you can check them out on the website. It's going to be in the show notes. And the first thing that they sent us is called the Fixture S1. And both of these products, the Fixture S1 and the Fixture S1 case, both of them are kind of revolve around using the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. But the Fixture S1 is kind of like a hybrid between a dock for your controller, but also for your Switch. And you can actually check out the video of it in action as well as the case on the YouTube that I mentioned previously. But basically what the Fixture S1 does is it allows you to kind of lock your Pro controller into this little base. And then from that is a little bit of an arm and a docking situation that allows you to slide the Switch down, and it actually attaches into the dock via the Joy-Con rails. It'll hold it there in place, and you kind of slide it all the way down until it kind of gets sandwiched between right angles at each bottom left and right corner of the Switch itself. So you can't use the Joy-Cons attached to it when this is happening because you're using the Pro controller. And the Pro controller you hold it, and it's got this stiff arm that holds the dock, which the Switch itself sits in. And you can hold the Pro controller, and extended from the top of that is going to be your Switch. And there's an arm there that kind of pivots back and forth so you can adjust the angle of the Switch itself. And on the back of the Switch, there's yet another rotating device that allows you to kind of pitch the angle of the screen. So if you like to be a little bit more of a right angle, you can do that. Or if you like to play with it a little bit more pushed back and relax, you can. So depending on whether you're standing and playing the Switch, which I'm not sure, I feel like that might be a little intense, but this case would definitely, this mount will definitely help you do it. Or if you're sitting down, you can adjust it to do that as well. One thing I didn't actually show in the video is that you can in fact position it so that it sits flat on a table, and you can play with it without actually having the Switch Pro controller in it. You can kind of take the Pro controller out of it and then adjust it so that you can slide your Switch into it and kind of use it to prop it up on a table or a flat surface, and then you can just hold the Pro controller in your hand. The Fixture S1 is pretty lightweight as well, and it's kind of just really small and portable. It's easy to bring around with you. It's $34.99. If it's something you're interested in, you should definitely check it out on the YouTube to learn more. And there's the case, but this is going to be pretty quick. Basically, the Fixture S1 case is a case for your Pro controller. It's got a cool little cutout for it that it fits in real nice and snug, and then it actually kind of flaps down, and there's room for about 12 Nintendo Switch games as well. There's also room in there for some cables, a couple other devices, and it's got a hard yet yet woven soft exterior, but it's like a stiffer case. So if you're looking for a case to bring your Pro controller around with you, the Fixture S1 case is probably what you're looking for, or at least what you should be looking for, because it's just a little bit more rigid. And that's $24.99. If these interest you, check out fixturegaming.com, check out the YouTube, and so you can see what these products look like. And of course, if you have any questions, let us know over on Twitter at Switch It Up Show.
Sounds good, man. Definitely check out the YouTubes because you did some great looking videography.
I tried, my man. I tried.
Capture all the angles of these super cool peripherals for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I am going to be reviewing a game on the PS5. It is from our friends over at NIS America. It is $39.89 currently. It is called Poison Control. Spirits are being trapped in a poisonous manifestation of their despair, and only Poisonette and her soulmate can purify them. Venture through the different Bell's Hells to defeat enemies, learn the stories of the fallen souls and other Poisonettes, and fight your way to heaven in this stylishly twisted action shooter. It was released back on 4/13/2021, and it is available on the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, PS5, and I do believe the Xbox systems. So, ladies and gentlemen, Poison Control, the best way I can describe it, is a mix between Splatoon and Persona 5. It's kind of got that rail shootery vibe, but it's also got a huge element of run around and clean up stuff, sort of painting in a style. Basically, what you do is you take control of this guy who I'm pretty sure died, and he is sort of in limbo where he gets a demon attached to his body, to his soul rather. She then has him bomb around the netherworld and try to clean up all these sorts of demon mess things, and you take on a bunch of different demons. You use your spirit gun buster cannon thing that's attached to your arm. It's a manifestation of her. It's very weird. It's very interesting. It's very Japanese all over. Definitely has a very humorous bent to it. They, again, in classic NIS fashion, do a lot of sexual humor. It is actually funny. I was surprised by it, how funny I thought it was. They do the same sort of thing that Splatoon does, where they have these two radio hosts talk in these sort of, straight man and, punchline giving comedy bits. It's pretty good. The music is pretty great in this game. I thought it was really catchy, and I had a pretty fun time playing it. The scenes and everything, it's all very bright. It's all very pink. It's all very neon. Hopefully you enjoy that. And sometimes it got to be a little bit much for me, but overall I didn't think it was too bad. Graphically, it's good. It's decent. It does feel like a PS4 game. I definitely think that the controls could have used a little bit better handling. Sometimes it feels really clunky just sort of walking around, and I'm not a fan of that aspect. But other than that, the shooting was fairly easy to control. Overall, though, it was a little bit on the short side, I want to say. At least I feel like it was a little short. And having those clunky controls made it kind of annoying at times to play around. Enough so that I am going to give Poison Control for the PS4/PS5 a 3.5 out of 5.
Not a bad score overall, though. Still pretty enjoyable.
It was, and that was one of the things that really surprised me, that despite it having sort of worse controls at times, it is definitely a fun game, and there are so many weird little unlockables and things to collect and go back and do to get S rankings on levels that you're actually gonna, I don't know, for me, I found myself wanting to play it more and more, so that's more than enough reason to buy it, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, if it keeps you coming back for more, I feel like that's always a positive thing here on the Switch It Up show, or for any, type of game that we play here on the podcast. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, if that game doesn't keep you coming back and you find yourself itching for more, remember, you can always switch it up.